Good morning, children. Hearty welcome to all of you for today's session. Come, let's learn English. Here is your English teacher, Jyotimal. How are you, children? Hope all are doing good. Okay, so today in this session, I will be discussing a poem from our Bihai textbook. So, children, come to page number 125. There you will have a poem, The Snake Trying. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a brief introduction to the poem The Snake Trying. It's a beautiful poem based on real life facts where every human being considers all the snakes are poisonous. Most of us think of snakes as fearsome symbols of death. People start to be very protective and hurt any snake crossing their paths. This is a poem about a snake that has accidentally crossed the path of a man with a stick. The snake managed to escape the stick of that man by using its slender body and curvy nose. It passes to the water and glides away from the man. So you will understand how impressive the moves of the small green snake were. It was escaping from the wrath of that man and his stick. Even though it did not harm the man, he tried to kill it with his stick for his own safety. Okay, so before moving ahead with the poem, let's see who has penned the poem, who has written the poem. See, here is the picture of our poet, The Snake Trying. What's the name of the poet, children? W.E. Ross. So, the poet of The Snake Trying, William Written Eustace Ross. William Written Eustace Ross was born on June 14th, 1894 in Peterborough, Ontario. He was a Canadian geophysicist and poet. Ross is often called the first modern Canadian poet for his innovation in verse, V-E-R-S-E. Ross' earliest works are written in free verse. His first book of poetry is Laconics. It was published in 1930. Some other important works are Anthology of Canadian Verse, Experiment 1923 to 29, Shapes and Sounds and more. He died on August 26, 1966. Okay, so Ross is often called the first modern Canadian poet for his innovation in verse. Our poem, The Snake Trying, is also written in free verse. There is no rhyme scheme. Okay, so let's move on to our poem. The Snake Trying. Let me read the poem, children. The snake trying to escape the pursuing stick, with sudden curvings of thin, long body. How beautiful and graceful are his shapes. He glides through the water, away from the stroke. Oh, let him go over the water, into the reeds to hide without hurt. Small and green, he is harmless even to children. Along the sand he lay until observed and chased away. And now he vanishes in the ripples among the green, slim reeds. Okay, children. So, let me explain you a line by line. So, the first line, the snake trying to escape the pursuing stick, with sudden curvings of thin, long body. How beautiful and graceful are his shapes. Okay, so let's see the meaning of some new words, children. See, the first one is pursuing. P-U-R-S-U-I-N-G. Pursuing means chasing or following. Then curvings, you know what's the meaning of curvings? Twisting. Curving body, twisting body. So the snake tries to escape from being hit by the stick that is following it. Did you get the line, children? The snake is trying to escape, or the snake tries to escape from being hit by the stick that is following it. As the snake crawls, its body twists and turns, forming fascinating shapes. Understood? Once again, the snake tries to escape from being hit by the stick that is following him. As the snake crawls, its body twists and turns, forming fascinating shapes. So here the poet surprises to see the beautiful and graceful shape of the snake. How beautiful and graceful are his shapes while moving or while crawling away from the stick. Okay, so the snake is trying to escape from being hit by the stick that is following it. As the snake crawls, see, with the sudden curvings of thin, long body. As we know, snake's body, it's very slender and long. So, as it crawls, its body twists and turns, forming fascinating shapes. So, how beautiful and graceful are his shapes while moving forward or while crawling forward. Okay, so the next, he glides through the water away from this rock. Oh, let him go over the water into the reeds to hide without hurt. Small and green, he is harmless even to children. So listen, children, glides. He glides through the water. Glides means moves. He moves through the water away. Then stroke, you know, hitting of the stick. Stroke, S-T-R-O-K-E. Stroke means hitting of the stick. Then reeds. I think it's given in your textbook. What's the meaning of reeds? Water or marsh plants with thick stems. Water or marsh plants with stick stems. So let's see the explanation of this. He glides through the water away. The snake moves through the water. Glides means moves. The snake moves through the water in order to save itself. So here, oh, let him go over the water into the reeds to hide without hurt. So here the poet pleads, the poet requests to let it escape or let it free and hide behind the thick marshy plants as it is harmless. The small green colored snake, it's harmless even to children. So what type of a snake is it, children? A small green colored snake. So here the poet says, or the poet pleads, oh, let him go. Let him go. The poet pleads to let it escape or let it free and hide behind the thick marshy plants as it is harmless. Small and green, he is harmless even to children. So what kind of a snake is it? The snake is small and at the same time it's green colored. So the small green colored snake is harmless even to children. So the poet pleads to let it free, let it go and hide behind the thick marshy plants. Okay. So the next stanza. Along the sand, he lay until observed and chased away, and now he vanishes in the ripples among the green slim reeds. Children, it's a short poem, but it is very beautiful. Okay, so here we are in the concluding lines. So along the sand he lay until observed and chased away, and now he vanishes in the ripples among the green slim reeds. So what's the meaning of vanishes? Vanishes means disappears. So What's the content of the concluding line, children? Along the sand he lay until observed and chased away. And now he vanishes in the ripples among the green slim reeds. So, till it was spotted or it was found and chased away by the person holding a stick. It lay quietly in the sand. Did you get the first line, children? Along the sand he lay until observed and chased away. So, till it was spotted or till it was located or till it was found and chased away by the person holding a stick, it lay quietly in the sand. Have you seen the line? Along the sand he lay until observed. He lay quietly. It lays quietly in the sand. So, it lays quietly in the sand until it was observed or until it was spotted and chased away by the person holding a stick. So, in order to save itself, the snake disappears in the ripples among the green slim reeds. So, in order to escape or in order to save himself, the snake disappears in the ripples of water and hides in the green bushes of the marshy plants. As we know, a lot of green bushes are there near the water body. So, what did you do? Yes, in order to save himself, the snake disappeared in the ripples of water and hid behind the green bushes of the marshy plants. So, that is the content of the poem, children. So, once again, I'll give you the content of the poem. Okay, listen. So, in this poem, a harmless green colored snake tries to save itself from being hit by a person who is chasing it with a stick to kill it. Did you get the sentence, children? In this poem, a harmless green colored snake tries to save itself from being hit by a person who is chasing it with a stick to kill it. The poet says that the snake is harmless even to children. But what's the condition or what's the approach of people? People like us fear snakes, and when they see one, they try to kill it with a stick. So, what would a snake do? Yes, the snake, it will try to save itself and hides behind the green colored bushes of marshy plants growing in the water. So, it hides in the ripples of water body in order to save itself. The snake disappears behind the green slim reeds, or the snake disappears behind the marshy plants that grows near the water body. So, did you get the content, children? So, that is what is the content of the poem. So, in this poem, a harmless green colored snake tries to save itself from being hit by a person who is chasing it with a stick to kill it. So, what's the approach of the poet, children? Yes, the poet says that the snake is harmless even to children. But what's the approach of people? People fear snakes. Most of us think of snakes as fearsome symbols of death. Am I right, children? So, here also, the man who tries to kill it or who tries to pursue it with a stick to kill it. So, people fear snakes, and when they see one, they try to kill it with a stick. So, that snake tries to save itself and hides behind the green colored bushes of marshy plants growing in the water. So, it hides in the ripples of water body in order to save itself. So, at last, the snake disappears behind the marshy plants that grows near the water body. Okay, so now let's discuss the literary devices used in the poem. Okay, so as I told you, Ross is often called the first modern Canadian poet for his innovation in verse. Ross's earliest works are written in free verse. As I told you, our poem, The Snake Trying, it's also written in free verse. So we can say there is no rhyme scheme. It's written in free verse. So you can check the last words of each line. No rhyming pairs are in there. So we can say there is no rhyme scheme in this poem. It's written in free verse. F-R-E-E-V-E-R-S-E. Free verse. Okay. Then the first literary device used in the poem, it's transferred epithet. Children, it's a new one for you. I'll give you the explanation. So transferred epithet, TRANSFERRED, transferred epithet, EPITHET. The notes is given to you. Don't forget to write it in your notebook, children. One more thing I want to remind you, children, no need to by heart these literary devices, but you have to understand what is a transferred epithet, or what is alliteration, or what is metaphor, like that. Okay, so transferred epithet. So a transferred epithet is a figure of speech where an adjective qualifies a noun. An adjective qualifies a noun other than the person or thing it is actually describing. In other words, the modifier or the epithet it transferred from the noun it is meant to describe to another noun in the sentence. So once again, children, a transferred epithet is a figure of speech. Did you understand? It's a figure of speech. So in this figure of speech, or it is used when there is an adjective qualifies a noun. An adjective qualifies a noun other than the person or thing it is actually describing. I'll give you the example. See, the first line itself is an example for transferred epithet. The snake trying to escape the pursuing stick. Have you seen the line, children? The first two lines. The snake trying to escape the pursuing stick. So here, the snake is trying to escape a man who holds a stick, not the stick. The snake trying to escape the pursuing stick. So here, pursuing refers to the person who is holding the stick. So which is the adjective, children? Pursuing stick. Which is the adjective? The adjective is pursuing. Stick is the noun. So the pursuing stick means pursuing refers to the person who is holding the stick. So pursuing. So that is what is I have told you. An adjective qualifies a noun. So which is the adjective qualifies the noun? Stick is the noun and pursuing is the adjective. So an adjective qualifies a noun other than the person or thing it is actually describing. So here it's actually describing about the person who holds a stick. Understood? A person who holds a stick, that is what is transferred epithet. So here the modifier or the adjective is transferred from the noun it is meant to describe to another noun in the sentence, but it is not there. Another noun. So which is the other noun? The person who is holding the stick. I hope you understood what is transferred epithet. A transferred epithet is a figure of speech where an adjective qualifies a noun. So here pursuing is the adjective and stick is the noun. So the adjective qualifying a noun other than the person or a thing it is actually describing. So here it is actually describing about the person who is holding the stick, not the stick. Person who is holding the stick. So that is what is an example for transferred epithet. Okay, the next literary device is alliteration. You know what is alliteration? What do you mean by alliteration? Well, the repetition of the consonant sound in two or more consecutive words. Okay, the repetition of the consonant sound in two or more consecutive words. So here there is an example for alliteration. He is harmless even to children. Have you seen that? Small and green. He is harmless even to children. He is harmless. So H, the sound H is repeated. H-E, he. Harmless again, H. So the sound H is repeated. So it's an example for alliteration. He is harmless even to children. So children, as I told you, it's a very short poem, but it is very beautiful. Okay, so here the poet tries to describe the beauty or the shape of the snake while it crawls towards the water. Clear? So that is what is the poem, children. Here comes an end of today's session. Notes are there, children. Don't forget to complete it. Have a nice day. Thank you, children.